Welcome to EPG Pathshala to all of you. I am Dr. Varalakshmi. Formerly, I was teaching and doing research in political philosophy. Today, I am going to deal with the module titled as Cultural Theory of Rights, which comes under a paper called Philosophical Foundations of Human Rights. Learning Outcomes. This module introduces the reader with the general features of cultural theory and also foundations of theory in early thinkers. This module also makes the reader to analyze the popular cultural theories in the present context. Introduction. To understand cultural theory and its contribution to theory of human rights, one has to know the term what is culture. Culture is the heritage of learned symbolic behavior that makes the humans human. Raymond Williams in 1983 defines culture in three ways. One, to refer it as a general process of intellectual, spiritual and aesthetic development found in the works of philosophers, artists and poets. To understand cultural theory and its contribution to theory of human rights, one has to know the term culture. Culture is the heritage of learned symbolic behavior and makes the humans human. Raymond Williams in 1983 defines culture in three ways. One, to refer it as a general process of intellectual, spiritual and aesthetic development found in the works of philosophers, artists and poets. Second, one is present, one which is representing a particular way of life of people, a period or a group found through development of literacy, sports and religious developments. Youth also in youth subcultures of lived culture or practices. And the third one is found in the signifying texts and works and practices of intellectuals and artistic activities. Jan Story, a sociologist of today, says that the third type of definition may be thought as the first one that represents poetry, arts, etc. And also it is found in soap opera, pop music and comics. Cultural history found that evolutionists supposed that all human societies follow the same course of development and they suppressed the theories of doctrines of the social evolutionists who contend that different cultures are found in different contexts. Then we shall deal with the heading called multicultural conceptions, which are where we find common value systems in early theories. The aim of any social science is to study society as much as possible in all aspects and analyze these and to improve the society. For man is a social animal. The term social is inclusive of many human aspects that are essential for man's social life, inclusive of material, intellectual relations with to help his other side of social life, namely economical, political and legal aspects in a group, society or a state. There are many theories right from early sociologists like Montesquieu, Comte, Spencer, Marx, Durkheim, Simmel and Weber and Radcliffe Brown, Malinowski. These are the persons in the early times. Strauss, Habermas and Foucault are from the recent front. And recent social scientists like Williams and Thompson's theories on critique on popular culture. No theory is the end word on theory of culture, for society is evolving human entity and evolving process. It goes on. Offerman in 2010 details early theories perception on society based on culture and society. Following Aristotle, Charles Baudelaire Montesquieu who lived in 1689 to 1755 differentiated republican governments from monarchical governments and also from despotic forms. To Montesquieu, different groups of people have different requirements and different characteristics. Thus, his theory is different from classical conception, where they allowed only two types of governments, primitive and modern. But to Auguste Comte, a lack of value, a consensus result into different values within one society, competing ways of life. Different groups work differently. Industrial groups that work on self-regulation, militant groups based on central regulatory authority, etc. But Comte attempts to raise consciousness to evolve dynamic and changeable character of societies through religion. The chief function of religion is to regulate all these variables and leave one variable of life. It is called as a hierarchism. To Spencer, heterogeneous societies are more adaptable than homogeneous social structures. And to Karl Marx, the class structure between the two economic classes, the proletariat and the capitalist classes, will end to a classless society, and this leads to an egalitarian society when the proletariat class is free from false consciousness and realizes the merits of being united and resists the dynamic of capitalist class. To Emile Durkheim, who developed theory on socialism, society is irreducible to individual behavior, and that even the more individualistic in appearing, and these are the function of the a social unity. Further, to George Simmel, society is a product of interactions of individuals. Like Durkheim, Simmel also contends that individual cannot go beyond collectivity and also differently from the collectivity. Fay cited this, Offerman also cited this. Now we shall deal with the recent theories, who are egalitarian theories. A comparative theory on cross-cultural theories shows that there are two main styles of arguments. One theory supposes a psychological unity among all, which holds that human beings faced with similar situations will react in the same way. Whereas the second type of theories presume that existence of social facts lying outside human control. Levi-Strauss presumed that human characters are the same everywhere. Savage mind has the same mind as the civilized mind. He is one of the major contributors to the theories on structuralism, and structuralism aims at finding the underlying patterns of human thought in all forms of human activity. Further, Strauss contends that beneath the vast heterogeneity of myths, there can be homogeneous structure, and also there can be general laws and varieties of parole and language and also an operational value. Strauss' love for humanity and environment is depicted in his words given to a national public radio on November 3rd in 2009. In remembrance of his things considered, look at his words. There is today a frightful disappearance of living spaces, be they are plants or animals, and it is clear that the density of human beings has become so great, if I can say so, that they have to begin to poison themselves. In the world in which I am going to finish my existence is no longer a world that I like. Strauss was insisting on the social scientists to organize the real data in a simple and effective way with an uniform pattern of all studies on the culture. Further, Strauss proposed universal laws. And another thinker is Paul-Michel Foucault. He is a philosopher and also a social theorist, post-structuralist and postmodernist, and he addressed the relationship between power and knowledge. Foucault was in tune with the views of Strauss. Foucault co-founded a group. Foucault was in tune with the views of Strauss. Foucault co-founded a group, De-Information Sous Prison, also called as DAP, along with a journalist, Jean-Marie Demenac, and who investigated the poor conditions in prisons and gave prisoners a voice in French society. Foucault was highly critical of the penal system on that the prison converted petty into hardened delinquents. Foucault was critical of ultra-nationalistic and anti-Semitic views also. Yet, he protected some of the militant leftists from being arrested and tortured. Foucault's responses during Iranian Revolution and supported Islamism was that he believed that we must treat it with respect than with hostility. And he studied in Zen Buddhism by staying in Japan in 1978. Foucault gave a cautious support for the Socialist Party under the government of Mitterrand. Jürgen Habermas then comes in our study. He was a German philosopher and a sociologist. He argued that legitimacy of the states must be based on the political rights of individual subjects. And he was influenced by many sociologists and philosophers and also psychologists and linguists. Philosophers namely Hegel, Kant, Marx and Marcuse, and sociologists like Durkheim, Mead, Weber, and psychologists like Piaget and Kohlberg, and linguistic philosophers like Wittgenstein, Austin and Strawson. All these have influenced him. Thus, he could develop his views on society, rights and power and religion. Habermas is popular for his views on modernity. His system is devoted to explore the possibility of reason and also human capacity to pursue a rational interest through works, and this is depicted in his works. The structural transformation of the public sphere, an inquiry into a category of bourgeois society. His speech on the public role of religion in secular context in 2005 held the significance of separation of church and state from neutrality to intense secularism. Habermas held that state should not acknowledge ethnic, national or racial identity, but enforce political and legal equality of all individuals. His social theory advances the goals of human emancipation while maintaining inclusive universalistic framework. Furthermore, Habermas, a Marxist, and held that there are two cultures: critical culture that represents the original culture. The other type is representational culture, where only one party is active and the other is passive. So, to Habermas, lack of critical culture and domination of representational culture is the present day process of modernization, according to Habermas. In his theory of communicative action in 1981, which is based on Parsons' theory, he contends that in all aspects of everyday life, the role of public sphere is missing today. Also, critical public is missing, including mass media turned into a passive consumer public. To him, development should be through public-minded, rational consensus, but not through self-interested minds. Further, very recent thinker called Petrakis and Kostis, these are in 2013, still recent thinkers these are, and they divide cultural background variables into two main groups. The first group covers the variables that represent the efficiency orientation of the societies, performance orientation and future orientation, assertiveness and power distance, and uncertainty avoidance. Whereas the second work covers the variables that represent the social orientation of societies, that is, the attitudes and also the lifestyles of their members. These variables include gender egalitarianism, institutional collectivism, and in-group collectivism and also human orientation. And furthermore, a new and promising approach to culture has recently been suggested by a thinker called Rain Rod, who he defines culture as the sum of resources available to human beings for making sense of their world, and also proposes a two-tiered approach combining the study of texts, all reified meanings in circulations, and cultural practices, which are all repeatable actions that involve the production, dissemination, or transmission of meanings, thus making it possible to relink anthropological and sociological study of culture with the tradition of textual theory. Now we shall look at the critics on popular culture. Raymond Williams, the Long Revolution of 1961, and E.P. Thompson's The Making of English Working Class in 1963 are some critics on pop culture. Williams' focus was on the culture as a whole way of life, and Thompson's focus was on that how groups handle the raw material of social and material existence. Thompson's thoughts opened a new thinking about culture as against narrow understanding of culture in a narrow literacy and aesthetic sense. Both Thompson and Williams deal with the dimensions of culture in terms of collective processes and meaningful ways of life. Let us pay attention to Thompson's critique of the making of the English working class. Story held industrialization and urbanization had drawn the cultural map. No longer was there a shared common culture with an additional culture of the powerful. It was a culture of two main subsources. One, a culture offered for profit by new cultural entrepreneurs, and two, a culture made by and for the political agitation of radical artisans, the newborn urban working class and the middle class reformer, all described so well by E.P. Thompson. That's what tells story about this. He is a contemporary sociologist, a cultural theory of popular culture in his introduction. Further, we can find some definitions on pop culture. Pop culture is a site where the construction of everyday life may be examined. The point of doing this is not only academic. This is an attempt to understand a process or practice. It is also political, to examine the power relations that constitute this form of everyday life and thus reveal the configurations of interests its construction serves, referred in by Turner in 1966. Further, in the hands of Antonio Gramsci, the role of culture opened a new opening to identify secure political and moral leadership and authority. Gramsci's works helped to go beyond the cultural theories, reconstructed states. We also discussed some of the key questions in legal anthropology. Most anthropologists now agree that universal human rights have a useful place in today's world. Yester argued that there are practices such as Indian sati, burning of a widow on her husband's funeral pyre, that can be said to be wrong despite justifications of tradition. This is because such practices are about much more than a culturally established worldview and frequently develop or revive as a result of socio-economic conditions and also on the balance of power within a community. As culture is not bounded and unchanging, there are multiple discourses and moral viewpoints within any community and among the various actors in such events. Merritt 2003 said this. More recent contributions to the question of universal human rights include analysis of their use in practice and how global discourses are translated into local contexts. Anthropologists such as Merritt noted how the legal framework of UNDHR is not static but is actively used by communities around the globe to construct meaning. As much as the document is a product of Western Enlightenment thinking, communities have the capacity to shape its meaning to suit their own agendas, incorporating its principles in ways that empower them and to tackle their own local and national discontents. And more recently, contributions to the question of universal human rights included an analysis of their use in practice and how global discourses are translated into local contexts. This is again by Merry 2003. And anthropologists such as Merry note how the legal framework of UNDHR is not static but is actively used by the communities around the globe to construct meaning. As much as the document is a product of Western Enlightenment thinking, communities have the capacity to shape its meaning to suit their own agendas, incorporating its principles in ways that empower them to tackle their own local and national discontents. There is another problem, female genital cutting, which is called also FGC. It is also known as female circumcision or female genital mutilation. It remains a hotly debated controversial issue, contested particularly among legal anthropologists and also human rights activists. Through her ethnography in 1989 on the practice of pharaonic circumcision among the Hafiyat of Sudan, Body maintains that understanding local cultural norms is of a crucial importance when considering intervention to prevent the practice. Human rights activists attempting to eradicate FGC using the legal framework of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights UNDHR as their justification. It runs the risk of imposing a set of ideological principles alien to the culture and attempting to be helped, potentially facing hostile reactions. Moreover, the UNDHR as a legal document is contested by some as being restrictive in its prescription of what is and is not deemed a violation of a human right, held Ross in 2003. And also it overlooks local customary justifications which operate outside of an international legalistic framework, says Ross 2003. Now, let us summarize what we have understood. We find cultural theorists were trying to arrive at certain social facts as social laws. Whether it is a study on myths, religion or a cult, there is an uniform pattern in the early thinking. And Durkheim as well as Strauss, a modern thinker, and theorists from Montesquieu to Habermas, there is an intense effort to see individuals apart from existence level. They aim to protect themselves under certain uniformly framed universal laws. Further critique on popular culture makes one to relate it to the present globalized world. Thank you.